Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
And I'm Carrie
Carrie
Gravenson.
Gravenson, good to see you. How you doing?
Good to see you. I'm good. Happy to be here. How you
Good.
been? You've
I've
been?
been all right. I just saw you yesterday, as a matter of fact.
That's
Uh,
right. I asked you how you've been then. How you been since yesterday?
since yesterday, pretty good. We have every Wednesday we have the Keith and the Girl chat room, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We play poker. I decided to. I think people are getting sick of me winning all the time, so I decided to
Yeah.
go be the very first person to go out so they can have a good time. So congrats to Gandar, first place, Snicky, second place. These are real names, what their mama gave them. But I have so much happiness and joy as it is that I don't know. It's becoming a little too much. Let somebody else enjoy life, I think.
Yeah. That was generous of you. You're a giving soul.
Thank you. Well, they give me so much. I like to give back. I'm
Yeah.
going to Liz's place right after this, going to Charlotte. So,
Oh, wow. How
yeah,
you getting you taking a plane or
I'm going to take
you
a plane.
yeah,
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
Did you hear that like 90% of straight white dudes think they could land a plane without any intervention?
You know
Are you
what? I see these. I don't know. There's. eh, I I would say yes. If it was yes or no in a poll, I would
uh-huh.
say that I could land a plane. Everything's got to be automatic nowadays. People, these pilots, they're doing acid and getting in there. You see when they go to
Uh-huh.
the bathroom, it doesn't seem so fucking hard if they're using the same bathroom I am as the plane is going.
So if they had a separate bathroom, you would know it was harder.
If I didn't see them just piss as they're flying,
You're like, it humanizes them for you. You're like,
yeah.
you're not that special. You're peeing just like me.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
But I will be back on Tuesday, so Keith and the Girl will be back then, recording
Excellent.
Chew and A on November 29th, the day after Thanksgiving. Do you get into it? Are you planning a Thanksgiving with you and your man?
No, weirdly, I have been planning a Friendsgiving in Nashville, Tennessee for over a
Oh,
year.
oh,
Uh, so my man and I are having a separate Thanksgiving, but he's coming down to Nashville on the Friday.
who lives in Nashville?
My friend
Okay.
and my high school friend and her husband and three children, and my other high school friend and her husband and one child live in LA. So the what I think it was nine of us, the nine of us are meeting in Nashville.
Destination Thanksgiving.
Destination Thanksgiving, destination Friendsgiving, if you will. I
If
invented that word.
Oh, okay. It feels like it caught on. It's like
Yeah,
Berenstain
yeah,
Bears or something like that.
yeah, yeah.
The last night also was the Country Music Awards. And normally, of course, I wouldn't give a fuck, but my friend Brother Love played on stage
Whoa,
live with
cool.
Lainey Wilson, the host and the new winner of Female Vocalist of the Year, winner of
Cool.
Music Video of the Year for Wildflowers and Wild Horses. They performed 4x4 by You. So I think it's a love country song, so it has to include some kind of truck pun, I believe. But
Oh, 4x4. Okay.
mhm. But
I thought it
he,
was 4/4, like the printing process, but 4x4 makes more sense than
I only
country.
heard it
Yes.
once.
Yeah.
And he plays percussion along with singing, but he was in front of the bongos. He had the shaker thing, and I believe it's hard to tell because he was kind of in the dark, but I believe that was his own shaker thing. So congrats to Brother Love, big deal.
That's so cool. Congrats, brother love.
Yeah,
I
that's
like that.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see here. Don't forget, by the way, rate, review, all that shit. iTunes. I look at those ratings like I do other ones, and I see I got a new 5-star review. Very exciting to see. This is from Not a Sheep Like Mark. 5 stars. The heading is says ridiculous,
Hmm.
and the text is Keith needs to do research about his ridiculous political views.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But it's 5 stars. I don't know how
Five
to feel.
stars.
I'm like, okay,
Right.
that's fine then. But
Right.
yes, I was of course anti-Trump. I believe in human rights, like some
You
ridiculous,
you
weird city shit.
you were anti-Trump. You use that in the past tense. You
I
were
don't know what can
anti-Trump.
happen now.
I
Like
mean,
it.
I think we have to get on board or we're going to be rounded up, you
That's
know?
right. Yeah, just crazy things that I don't want somebody under investigation for kid fucking to be attorney general. Just weird, dopey,
Mm.
again, metropolitan bullshit. It is interesting. So when he says Keith needs to do research about all his ridiculous political views, you ever notice everybody seems to be doing all this research but us?
Yeah,
Where are these people doing all this research that Keith Malley simply isn't doing because he
You
thought Kamala was a decent person?
just Google Trump, Keith. I don't know why
Right.
yeah, just get down a YouTube rabbit hole. I think you can't claim Trump is the Messiah and then claim other people need to do research. I feel like
Right.
that those things don't track. If you want to talk about politics, let's talk about politics, but you can't claim a human like no, that puts you in a camp that I can't.
I don't think Dr. Oz should be in charge of Medicare and Medicaid. This isn't an exaggeration, but apparently I didn't do my research.
You got to do your research. You got
Yeah.
to, he's been telling people to get healthy.
Right. You'd think,
That's,
why'd
I
that
mean,
be so
that's,
bad? Well, he says
yeah,
he's going to work under Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and for health, the guy who's anti-vax, and I don't just mean COVID.
yep.
The guy that has a brain worm, I don't know, look into him more. But again, I guess I didn't do my research. Some time ago, I read this Reddit. Melodic Marzipan7 wrote, I love how condescending you are talking about the majority of the country. Who
Hmm.
cares, though? The majority of the country were against civil rights. Who cares?
Right.
If people are having fun and doing Nazi marches, Keith, you like to see movies. Some people like to do Nazi marches. Everybody's different.
It's because you edge on defending Nazis. I don't know. It's
Right.
like me didn't we've learned nothing. We really learned nothing.
I remember that was the thing. Like, no, no to Nazis.
We used to not like Nazi. We didn't used to say things like, well, let's hear them out.
I didn't. If you walked into a friend's place, I've said this before, but if you walked into a friend's place and they were watching Schindler's List and you're like halfway through the movie, you don't go, hey, real quick, whose side are we on? I've never seen it.
Right. Right.
Is it with the one with skulls on their hats? Who are we rooting for?
Right. Right.
But here you are. It's everybody has a different opinion. Hey Keith, writes Adam. First time, long time. Just wanted to kick some stats to you for the next time some dipshit Redditor implies that the majority of the country supports Donald Trump. As of the most recent count, Donald Trump received about 76.5 million votes. In a country of 345 million, that's only 22%. If you were to further restrict that number to eligible voters, roughly 244 million, you're still only looking at 31%. The largest voting bloc in this country remains the non-voter. I hear what this dude's saying, but what can I tell you? Tell these idiots to fucking vote. But you're right. In other words, Donald Trump doesn't represent the majority of shit, except maybe uneducated white males who think they could land a plane, as evidenced most likely by that dumbass Redditor's comment. Peace, love, and Keith and the girl, Adam. Yeah, I hear you. What are you going to do, though? Here we are.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to speak up, for Christ's sake. We're not telling you you got to go to war.
At
We're
least
telling
we
you
know
vote.
elections are fair now. Did you notice that?
Yeah, right. Yes.
Elections are
Not a
totally
problem.
legit. Yeah, that took one day. That took one news cycle to be like, well, the election is
Right.
going to be totally rigged. It's like,
I mentioned
oh,
how it was trending on Google election night after results came out. How do I change my vote? I didn't mention this. It was from states which saw the highest number of searches. The states with the highest number of searches were states won by Trump.
and
By little buyer's remorse, these fucking idiots. How do I change my vote now?
how do I change my vote?
I'm,
See,
I'm learning that Obamacare
this is
is the affordable health care. How do I
oh my
change my vote real quick?
God. Do research, you
I
guys.
am hearing so many. This is a big thing, and I guess we knew it with that deplorables debacle with Hillary Clinton. But I, I I think people vote against their best interests simply to get back at the other side in weird ways. Like I was just hearing on a podcast somebody that I don't know rates for like smart magazines and shit like that. I don't know, smart shit. She
Smart
seemed smart.
magazine. Right, right.
And she was but she said, "You know what? I'm not into Trump, but people were telling me I was stupid for thinking kids shouldn't go back to school during COVID. So I said, you know what? I should be able to say what I want. So fuck you. So I voted for Trump." Okay.
Wow.
Okay. You know, it,
Wow.
it cost votes because the because Walls said or what? Because Biden mumbled, "Oh, if you want to talk about garbage, I'll tell you what's garbage. If you support Trump, you're garbage." It's like, well, I'll show you. So if I did, then I'm garbage. Well, fuck you. Oh,
Right.
oops. Healthcare is going to be a problem.
Oh yeah.
People are
I'm
children.
very worried about healthcare. Yeah.
Should have been nicer, Keith. Now I'm going to vote against all of us. Republicans on the House Ethics Committee fell in line behind GOP leaders and voted not to release the results of their investigation into Donald Trump's Attorney General pick, Matt Gaetz. Isn't this the anti-kid fucking gang? Right? Pizzagate, all this shit. It's like Matt Gaetz is being looked into fucking underage people. This
Right,
is
but he
this is real. Trump cabinet picked Pete Hegseth as defense secretary. A 22-page report just came out in Monterey, California, that shows that at least one woman he paid off.
yeah.
He
So
raped her and paid her off.
he's stimulating the economy, Keith. The
Mm.
other the other children fuckers are just doing it. But Matt Gaetz, he's paying. You see the difference?
Pete Hegseth, this woman said blocked her from leaving a hotel room, took her phone, sexually assaulted her. She even remembers saying, "quote no" a lot of times. Um, Hegseth, who President Donald Trump has picked as a Secretary of Defense, told police that their encounter was consensual and that he had repeatedly made sure the woman, quote, was comfortable with what was going on between the two of them. Repeatedly? Can you imagine? You're fucking and you got to repeatedly go, you're still cool with this, right?
Yeah, well, the guy's holding your neck down. You're like,
Right.
uh-huh, uh-huh. Yeah. There's
Uh,
yeah. There's nuances there, buddy. Idiot.
and of course, there's an undisclosed monetary payment so that he could settle the case. But that's not interesting.
No,
That's
no.
not, well, if they made a deal.
Do you notice that everyone in Trump's cabinet is someone who donated a huge fuck ton of money to his
Right.
campaign? Why is nobody mentioning that? That you're buying cabinet spots, basically. Everyone is buying cabinet spots. You're
I
not
saw,
supposed to be able to do that. You're not supposed to be able to do that.
I saw,
Uh,
there's a Twitter feed called Just Talk Wrestling. And it says, U.S. politics is so wild. Here's the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, and it's the wrestler Kane, tombstoning, like a pile driver, the U.S. Secretary of Education, McMahon, who she's going to
yeah,
be a Secretary of Education. They're all from the WWE. It is pretty fucking funny.
I love it. I love it. And she's like besties with Trump because he wanted tickets to something. Great.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
perfect. Love it.
If I hear
And
one more,
I
go
don't
ahead.
know why I would have to argue the idea that we need a Department of Education. I just I can't believe that we're at the point where we're like, do we need a Department of
Right.
Education? Like, wow, we're starting here? Like, I
We
don't
do.
know.
We need a
It's
stronger one, not get rid of it. People don't know if they could change their vote. Hold
yeah,
on. They,
I changed
this,
my vote.
like you go
Is
to
that
the,
true? That can't be
yeah,
true.
that's absolutely true. But it would be funny. You go to like, there's an Onion TV channel and they go, and hold on, the vote changes are coming in.
Right, right, right. The buyer's remorse. I mean, that was apparently the thing after Brexit. Remember, after Brexit
Yeah.
passed, everyone was like, "Oh, we didn't realize the implications. Let's vote again." And in
People,
Parliament, everyone was like, "No, we did
people
this."
voted and lost their jobs because their job was in another close country.
Yeah, yeah. And like
Jesus
the taxes,
Christ.
like all of it. Yeah. But like
Um,
it'll never be. And I was thinking, like, I'm like, when all of the shit hits the fan, he's just gonna say it was the previous administration. He's gonna blame someone else. No one will ever admit it was a bad idea to elect Trump. The
there's
people
a,
who support him. It's so infuriating. And
it's,
ugh.
did Linda McMahon know about all her husband's rapes? Do we know? We believe that those rapes are a fact, right? I'd like to think we all believe about that shit about Vince McMahon. Also, ring boys, people who worked in the WWE, did the menial shit, said that they were abused and nothing did anything about it. They said their stories on video for being so anti. Stop killing babies after they're born and drinking their blood. What? Kate, the
I
majority of
mean, we're
people
on the
want
wrong
to.
side. Keith, we're the wrong side. We got to start
Apparently,
drinking baby blood. I mean, why are we holding back on the baby blood?
apparently, if I
It's
told you that Hulk Hogan was just picked for Secretary of Labor, I bet you'd have to Google it.
no, I'd believe you.
You believe
I'd
it?
be like, that makes sense. That makes
All
total
right.
sense. I would believe it. If he was like the new attorney general, I would, it wouldn't, and then he's going by Terry now because now he's in the government,
Right.
like I would believe it. I'm
And
surprised he hasn't been.
And now you can, I think it's going to empower people to really say whatever they want. Regular people you have to work with, people in your family. Say whatever you want, deny whatever you want. Rudy Giuliani uh, kept lying about the Georgia votes being tricked and stolen and all this shit to the point where he's bankrupt and he owes $148 million. Okay. He was disbarred. This is real. All this happened. Now he's shitting on those people again. Lawyers are like, all right, we got to take you back to court to talk about this because
That's
you're not
insane.
allowed to do that. But you know what? Now that Trump's elected, go for it.
Yeah. Giuliani's going to be Secretary of Defense. I don't know. I can't think of
He
a.
said Giuliani has a podcast, and he says he has the tapes that show they quadrupled the ballots for the Democrats, and repeatedly makes reference to the quote little hard drives which he falsely claims were used to fix the machines. All these people always have the tapes. It's
The
just
little,
weird they never show them.
the little hard drive.
Little hard drives. Let me just put it
I
this way.
like
I have
a
a
little
little
hard
hard drive.
drive.
You might be shocked to see. We'd love to see it. All sides would love to see it.
I want to see this
Someday I
floppy
will.
disk, this
Yeah.
zip drive.
Someday
Little
I
hard.
should.
Yeah, it's
That's
good stuff.
Puff Daddy's thinking like, hey, I'll just keep denying my shit. Hey,
No, well,
his lawyers are like, hey, all this is bullshit. Like, really? We're up to fucking Cosby levels now. Nah, but people just
people
want to
still
defame him.
people still think Cosby's innocent. I don't know.
Crazy.
I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know how many it would take. And you're
Right.
like, what would it take? And people say nothing. You're like, well, then you're not a
Okay.
reasonable, logical, like you can't.
None of this is true about Diddy. He's not that kind of person at all. We happen to see a video of him horrendously abusing a woman in a hotel hallway, kicking her fucking head like a soccer ball, so fucking violent. But all this other shit, and by the way, in that violent videotape, you just didn't hear the whole story.
Right, right, right. And are we sure it was him?
He
You can
fucked
make
up. He said, yeah, I was out of control. Like his lawyers are probably like, no, we live in a world now where it was AI.
like, right, exactly. Exactly. You
You
could
ever
deep
see a
fake
clear
that.
video in your life? Don't admit it to
No,
you.
no.
Yeah, we're getting close to like 100 accusations about P. Diddy. A new one, a man identified as John Doe number 6025, claims the disgraced music mogul attacked him in front of a group of people in a bedroom after his drink was spiked in 2022, causing him to lose consciousness. He says that when he eventually came to, he felt a sharp pain in his ass, in his rectum, excuse me. The victim claims he turned around to check the source of the pain. There he was, Combs, standing behind him, assaulting him.
Oh my God.
The plaintiff
Wow.
recalls Combs telling him, "This is what you want," with a sick smile on his face. The drugs prevented the plaintiff from fighting back and eventually slipped back into unconsciousness. He woke up alone the next morning in the room before a member of Combs' security came in and handed him his clothes and told him to get ready to leave. Imagine that's your job.
Jesus.
The allegations
Wow.
were laid bare in the latest batch. In the latest batch, every so often they just give new batches of people. In the latest
Right.
batch of civil lawsuits filed in Manhattan on Tuesday. Another suit, a Maryland woman, Jane Doe 6 million, alleged that Combs sexually assaulted her in a black SUV limousine parked outside a New York City nightclub in 2001 when she was 18. She
Wow.
claims Combs' security had escorted her and two friends to the car where Combs had a half dozen members of his security team waiting inside. The woman alleges that she was given a spiked drink before Combs forced them to take turns giving his crew, forced her to take turns, forced them to take turns giving the crew oral sex. Combs called the woman profanities and he degradingly sprayed champagne all over them, not in the fun way, as they performed these sexual acts against their will.
Wow.
Ultimately, they made them blow Diddy himself.
Oh, well,
Co-
good.
Yeah. Combs' lawyers have repeatedly derided the civil litigation as his saying it's shameless publicity stunts. It's a publicity stunt. We
Wait,
saw the
from who?
video.
Who's
It's just all these victims.
the
It's
victims are
it's
gonna
a
be
publicity stunt. Yeah,
for the victims.
for the victims who go
Right.
by
Because,
Jane Doe and John Doe.
right, the anonymous people
Yes.
are doing this for publicity.
Right.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
that's the Holly Weird game.
Wow. People believe this.
As his legal team has said before, Mr. Combs has full confidence in the facts and the integrity of the judicial process. Imagine Rudy Giuliani's lawyers won't even work with him anymore.
Mm-mm.
That's how crazy Rudy's stories is.
What would it take to believe women? Or
Right.
like, what a story to make up too.
In
Be like,
court,
and
right. In court, the truth will prevail that Mr. Combs never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor.
he doesn't even like champagne. That's the thing. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, what brand of champagne? Oh, you can't
Right.
remember? I guess it didn't happen."
Accused
Yeah,
sex
it's
trafficker Sean Diddy Combs sacrificed a bird for good luck back in 1999 when he was going to trial for the nightclub shooting. So he hired somebody. Okay. The music mogul was being driven to the courthouse in Manhattan when he stopped in Central Park to meet a mysterious man with a caged bird, says his ex bodyguard, Gene Deal. When Puff got close to the guy, he just dropped down to his knees. Next thing I see is the smoke just going back and forth around Puff. I guess it was sage or something like that. The man held a Bible as he put a hand on Combs and told him to take the bird out of the cage. Puff took this white bird and threw it up in the air. The bird just fell to the ground, boom, like it was a brick. I was like, oh shit, says Deal. The bird died, man. The bird didn't move. Just walked in. Combs just walked away from him real quick. Well, it worked. You think
that's a
now he's like, I'm going to need like 50 fucking birds.
I need a few more birds.
Get that bird guy. Oh, he passed away. Fuck.
Um, how is that the least weird thing?
Right.
Like
He Combs continued to court where he's acquitted of all charges, including weapons possession and attempted bribery. It's just a coincidence. Another case. By the way, they are looking back into this now
into the
because they
bird
have
thing.
into
Oh,
the
the
nightclub
the
shooting.
shooting. Gotcha.
Yeah. His sidekick rapper Shine, the subject of this new Hulu documentary, was found guilty of assault, reckless endangerment, and criminal possession of a pistol and spent 10 years in prison. He was then deported to Belize, his native country, where he is a politician now, known as Moses Michael Levi Barrow. Barrow has long accused Combs of making him take the fall for the shooting, accusing the long, powerful mogul of having destroyed my life.
But he's a politician.
Two law enforcement sources told the Post earlier this year the shooting could be reinvestigated as part of the sweeping federal probe against Combs. Combs's rep said the hip hop mogul categorically denies Mr. Barrow's allegations, including any suggestion that he orchestrated Mr. Barrow to take the fall. He's just not that kind of guy.
No.
Combs remains locked up, of course, in Brooklyn. He additionally faces a slew of civil suit from numerous alleged victims, including two from men who said they were just 10 and 17. The
Oh my
disgraced
God.
mogul had a minor legal win Tuesday. Minor. That threw me for a second. A minor legal win Tuesday when a judge ruled federal prosecutors cannot use a notebook that they found when it was his jail cell was investigated. So apparently, they found like dirt on him that he wrote to himself or wrote for his lawyer, but that can't be used
You
because
can't
that's
be
his personal
used because
property.
wait, no, that doesn't make sense. I thought,
I say use
why?
anything.
If you write down, I can't believe I
Got away
sexually
with it.
assaulted all those women and got, yeah, and
It's
that
fan
you,
fiction. I'm bored in here.
oh, I'm just imagining it. It's like if I did it. It's like
Right.
it's like OJ's if I did it. Come on.
A judge in Sean Diddy Combs' sex
Wow.
crime case has ordered prosecutors to destroy their copies of Combs' handwritten notes that were obtained during a recent jail search. Get rid of them, said the judge, adding that he would keep a copy of the notes until he determines whether prosecutors have a right to use them to build their case. We
Oh
don't know
my
yet.
God.
The judge said a separate team within the U.S. Attorney's Office that is responsible for screening documents for attorney-client privilege could keep them. So I guess we'll see. Lawyers for the embattled music mogul demanded a hearing focused on how prosecutors came into possession of these notes in the first place. Well, maybe he's not liked by guards too much.
Right.
The attorney
Wow.
said that an October 28th search of Combs' jail cell violated his constitutional rights. Well, I would hate to violate that. It's all we got.
Right. Right.
When you gotta
I don't know. I feel like the testimony of dozens and dozens of people might be enough evidence, but I'm wrong. You need
You
it
would
in his
think
own,
something's there.
you need his own handwriting to be, and that can be faked also. I mean,
When you look,
why? Oh,
it's weird the political stuff, like when you do pick a team and you have to stick to that team no matter what. When you do have to act like Trump's a person and you always admired Dr. Oz and you couldn't stop listening to Kid Rock. It was at all your fucking Republican weddings. You would play the
hmm.
music. You have to pretend now you were never into porn and that there should be stricter laws. That's what you think. Have you heard
Yeah.
the story, by the way? Mattel put out dolls for the movie Wicked, the Wizard of Oz
I
movie,
just heard this.
and there's a UR what are they
Yeah.
called? QR codes. QR
Yeah.
code that leads to this website Wicked, but it turns
But
out it goes
oops.
to Wicked Pictures, the porn site.
Yeah. And that they said they're blaming it on AI. I heard that they were like, we
Uh,
let AI design the packaging and AI gave us wicked.com instead of
okay,
wicked dash movie or something, like
so
the real.
and you didn't check it.
And no one checked it. No one, why would you check it, Keith? Why would you check it?
Do
Don't
you
be,
think? Do you
who
think it
has the
was?
time?
Yeah, if we can't trust AI,
We can't. I know. We've lost everything. So and then Mattel tried to sue wicked.com and tell them to take their site down.
the porn site,
Yeah. And
Wicked Pictures, yeah.
wicked.com was like, "No, we didn't
Right.
like the stats are through the roof, you know." Like
Do you think is there a chance that it was somebody's last day and they're like, fuck you?
it's possible. Maybe it was the AI's last day and AI
Right.
was like, "Fuck you. No
Why would
respect."
you trust AI? I've seen AI of Kamala and Trump making out. Yeah, you can't trust
Oh
this
yeah.
fucking
Is that how? Is
AI.
that what you
Yeah.
look at? That's what you like?
It's my algorithm, I guess. Toy
Yeah,
Gi-
no. Or I mean, it's easy to make a QR code. Like there's just sites you can make a
right,
QR. It could have just been human error, but nobody wanted to admit it, so
right.
they're blaming it on the machines. But then it's still human error. Someone should catch that. I put a QR code on my Christmas card last year.
They should be like, oh, the Green Witch.
Right, right.
Where'd your QR code go to? Pornhub?
No, to the Quiznos ad of the Sponge Monkeys.
Oh, that was cute.
Because
I do remember
I,
that.
oh, it's my favorite ad. I watch it when I'm sad.
Do you know what you're going to do right now for your Christmas cards? Because you always do a production.
I don't know yet. Oh, yeah, I have an idea. I have an idea. You'll see. You're on
Okay,
the
okay.
list.
I didn't mean to give it away. Toy giant Mattel has manufactured merch for Wicked, the upcoming movie adaptation of blah, blah, blah. On the back of the box is a link to wicked.com, which of course is Wicked Pictures. The real site for the film, which was supposed to be on the packaging, is wickedmovie.com.
There it is. Right.
Whoops. Wicked
Whoops.
Pictures produces porn parody movies, including Captain Marvel Triple X. It's unclear whether they plan to capitalize on this misfortune. An X-rated
They
version of Wicked, of course
they
you do.
better. I mean, it writes itself. Come on.
Nobody cares. Dr. Oz is going to be in charge of your health. You know what the big deal I see people supposedly are complaining about? Fans of Tropicana orange juice don't like that it's a new bottle. But
Oh.
they can't, and they think Tropicana really fucking blew it. Do you remember the bottle was like kind of fat on the bottom, like a carafe? Went
Yeah.
in on the top, and then like flourished out or something. Now it's a
Yes.
regular bottle, so it can fit in your fridge like you're a human. People are upset because they think it takes away the classiness.
Oh no, you don't want to take the classiness away from Tropicana. Is it a war on Christmas yet, though?
One thing at a time. Tropicana
Oh,
recently
sorry.
ditched its distinct orange juice in clear plastic circular shaped
Yeah,
bottles.
I gotta see this. I gotta see this.
Over the summer, it rolled out more traditional looking plastic bottles. Tropicana sales here. I'll show it here, but
Oh, good.
I'll put
Yeah.
it at keithandgirl.com too. That's the
Oh,
stupid one is the old one.
I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. It's a normal bottle. I thought it was offensive.
Tropicana sales have been steady for the year, but they plunged immediately after putting the new bottles on shelves. In July, Tropicana sales dropped 8.3% from the prior year. In August, 10.9%. First of all, it should offend you that they say it's only orange juice. When's that lawsuit? You ever drink this shit? It's
Mm,
fucking
hmm.
horrendous.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
should be, they should ask you that at a voting booth. Hey, right before you vote. Is there a difference between fresh orange juice and Tropicana 100% pure
No.
orange juice? Because
No.
then,
Nope. And I drink baby blood, so
uh,
everything mixed with baby blood tastes great.
Customers
Yeah.
wrote letters, sent emails, and called Tropicana in droves to complain that the new symbol and carton design were generic and cheap looking. Yeah, when I see this bottle on somebody's table, I'm like, pretty fancy.
It went from butt plug to dildo, you know?
Tropicana's sales dropped 20% following the redesign. Let's see. Wow. Oh, man. Okay. So, I see. So in 2009, they lost 20% of their profits because they changed the label.
Okay.
This is separate than what I was just talking about, the bottle. The label was an orange, if you remember, with a straw going through it.
Yes, I remember that.
They changed it to a glass of orange juice. Nobody
Uh-huh.
liked that. They had to go back to the. What the fuck are you?
Why don't we let the people make the label?
I
Why
don't
are
want
we?
Obamacare. I want Affordable Care Act. What is with my orange juice? Because it's probably
I
illegal to act like
swear
it
it
comes
tastes
from an
different.
orange.
It tastes different. I bet you know what it
Right.
is. I bet it's less. Is it the same number of ounces in each bottle?
The,
Because I'm willing to bet that
mhm.
it's fewer ounces and the same price. Am I right?
The new bottle is less ounces, but a lower price.
Oh, well,
Yes.
then I'm incorrect. But
Yeah, they just don't like the. They like that they thought the carafe was classy.
nobody's classy anymore at
Right.
all. 0% of people are classy. We're done with classy.
I liked it when it was classy, you piss fox. Send.
Right, right, right. Exactly. Thanks, Cum Glazler 95 for your opinion on our carafe.
I think they should do a new logo. It's like a fist for the orange, and then the middle finger is the straw. Fuck you.
Yeah, no, the it's an orange getting fisted by a straw.
Our new bottle is with spikes. You're gonna drink
Yeah.
it. The craft was successful in part because customers liked how it looked sitting out on their breakfast tables, said a hard on. The packaging sent visual cues of breakfast and fresh orange juice.
Oh, sweet
You know
Christ.
what else can do that? The words orange juice.
Or how about a glass of orange juice does that? You need a visual breakfast cue?
The problem with the
Like
new
too much
one,
time on their hands, man. These are
right?
classy people. These are classy people, Keith.
Why can milk be normal? The problem with the new one is it doesn't have any distinctive characters. It's no longer meaningful. It's ubiquitous. It's more of a generic structure.
Wow. Imagine this being your biggest problem.
But some customers say that the old bottle with the longer neck is easier to grip and handle than the new ones. This is like a late night infomercial. You take the
I
look
can't
at these
pick it
new ones. Oh
up.
my god, the orange juice is going
Ah,
down my pants.
there's gotta be a better way.
Yeah, it was something with ridges, and the company is investing in advertising and in-store elements to familiarize customers with the redesign. How? What?
People need to take holding orange juice bottle classes,
Yeah.
Keith. This is we have the resources. We need take a class on how to hold orange juice.
One
Don't be like,
dipshit wrote, "Hey Tropicana OJ, what the heck are you doing? I had been a loyal customer for decades, but now you lost me." Here's one jerkwad. They say, "I do not like the new bottle design. I've purchased Tropicana for so many years, but this will make me change brands." No one's doing a carafe, so where are you gonna go?
I don't know, man. You got to go to another country. You got to buy a real carafe, like a glass carafe, and
Just get a
pour the juice
carafe and
into
do
that.
that, like
Get
the
a real carafe.
movies.
Yeah, they have them at thrift shops. Nobody wants them.
Right.
It's great.
That's at the dollar store. They're cheap.
It's true.
The you remember the movie or no of it? The movie Rust, where Alec Baldwin shot the woman with the camera, the cinematographer,
Yes.
and he said he didn't pull the trigger, then he did pull the trigger. That whole thing was weird to me, even if I think that obviously it was an accident. The movie premiered last night in Poland. This thing got made.
Hmm.
I'm gonna see it. Sure, I'm interested. They think they knew where the woman got shot, like what scene it would have been, and apparently everybody was like, "Oh God, that would
Oh
have been
my
it." I
God. That
guess.
was like in The Crow when what's his face got shot on camera by
Right, right.
mistake, and they still finished the movie with that scene in it.
Mm.
And everyone's like, that's where he got shot.
A
Horrible.
filmmaker at the Poland premiere told Variety that Rust is, quote, a solid Western. I think it looked beautiful with really amazing cinematography. Yeah, cinematography was great until it wasn't.
Right.
You know?
Do we know why Poland?
No. I don't.
Okay.
I read an
Okay.
article on it, but no, I don't.
Okay. I'm just curious,
Just
like
somewhere
why?
not America so fast, I feel
Right,
like.
right,
Let's get
exactly,
other,
right,
yeah.
right.
It'd be
Poland's
funny,
never heard
like,
of Alec Baldwin in
it's
Poland.
it's great cinematography. First of all, of course it is. It's they found a great desert scene. That's good cinematography. That's all.
That's
Just put your camera towards it, you know?
it's New Mexico.
Get one of those wide ones. But it'd be funny if, like, after the cinematographer died and they finished the movie, the camera guy, anytime they're shooting, you see the camera like duck and shit.
He's just really bad at it.
I thought it was weird, when Alec Baldwin did RFK Jr. recently on SNL.
Mm.
And again, I'm sure it was an accident, of course, but it's still just funny. Like, what's the hurry? Like, after the shooting, Alec Baldwin said, "Oh, I'm going to do a reality show with my family," and I'm like, "Now?" And I bet you he's a fucking weirdo. Where you go, "Really now?" And I bet he goes, "Why not?" And you're like, "Then forget it. Why not?"
Yeah,
I
just
don't
do it.
know. Why
Yeah, yeah,
not? If it was an
yeah,
accident, it was an accident. So why not?
yeah.
I don't see why. Anyway, speaking of movies, yesterday, Carrie and I saw Heretic.
Heretic.
Hugh Grant and two Mormons come to his secluded home. And it's like a fucking haunted house. It's so hard to get there. It's so out of the way, of course, so that they in the movie they can do whatever the fuck they want without police knowing. Have you noticed, by the way, that have you been getting on Instagram Church of Jesus Christ ads?
I haven't yet, but I haven't
Okay.
been on Instagram today. I'm going to look for the first ad. I'm doing this in real time, but I want to see the ads I get on Instagram now. Okay.
It's so in this movie, uh two young women, uh attractive enough, it's the movies, come to this Hugh Grant's house. And I've seen these ads recently before I knew about this movie, and it's always two girls. What's that, a raccoon and a bird? Okay.
No, it's an ad for a bird buddy. That's what Instagram wants me to buy a birdhouse.
These
So
Mormons will
not,
do anything to get you in.
yeah, I know. These birds are all Mormon.
So it's
Right.
these ads are always two young, attractive enough girls, and they say, "Hey, we'll come to your house and pray with you and tell you about Jesus Christ." It's just funny timing. I wonder if Heretic's like, "Oh, thank God, how lucky we are."
Wait, so you got those ads before you saw the movie or
Yes,
after?
yeah, before,
Oh, that's
yeah,
weird.
yeah.
And now you're Mormon.
And you know what? I
The
have
movie
an interview in about 1 hour.
the movie did it for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I tricked out my house. I got traps and everything. It's very
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah, nice. Very smart. Yeah. No
Uh,
spoilers. It
right.
doesn't go well for the ladies.
Fun Pants McGee wrote about Heretic before I saw it. I saw it last night, they said. Couldn't help but spend the entire time imagining Father Malley, my dad, wrote erotic fanfic. But it was
Oh,
cool to see what his basement looks like for worship. That guy had a fake church in his place. My dad put a fake church in his place.
wow.
Let's see. Shanksworthy 73 says, does an impression. Well, I should say, indeed, that is of the utmost importance what door you choose, my son. Choose wisely. I'm like, this would be my dad.
That would be. That would
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
What a piece of dog shit.
Yeah.
They loved to they acted like it was so fucking deep. 91% on Rotten Tomatoes by critics. It acted like it was so fucking deep, and it absolutely was not.
No, that was like a high school, I mean, high school senior paper on
Yes.
religion.
Right,
Be
on
like,
how religions
how
copied off of each
come,
other. Yeah.
how come religions have things in common? Oh,
Right. Hmm.
maybe it's arbitrary. I don't know.
Never thought of it. It reminds
Yeah.
me of and keepingthegirl.com/dad is the whole dad saga, the dad emails book. You can see how to download it there, or how to order it there. But anyway, in it, I talked about how my dad lost his faith for a minute because he was in a college course that wasn't religion based. And the teacher said, "Why do bad things happen to good people?" And it blew my dad's mind. That's
That's
what
what did it.
Heretic is for. It's like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
never
yeah.
thought it. That's a great question because it's simple,
Right.
but it's for a
Right.
fucking child. And there is no answer because he's a prick. But
Right.
it really blew your fucking mind after being in the seminary. I never thought of it. And then my dad made up a reason so he can move on with his life like everybody does. And he's like, free will. And he goes,
Right.
how come God had a tornado take down somebody's house? And it's like, why would you move into Tornado Alley? And I'm like, I was thinking more about kids with cancer. But okay.
Right.
Fault
No,
lines.
they're
Okay.
being called back up to heaven.
Right,
That's
right.
why. That's why the kids get cancer.
I said, why, I was a kid, and I said, why does God make people with no limbs? Why does God make people with, infectious diseases? And it's like, so that we feel better about what we have.
I thought it was to test our faith.
So it's many
Okay,
reasons,
they
whatever you
got you
like.
coming and going. They got you
Yeah.
coming and going. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, who's the like, who's the worst person
Right.
that nobody can look at that and go, well, at least I have it better.
Right. Right.
When does it end?
That person's delusional and thinks they have it
Right.
great. Right.
This guy, Hugh Grant, and my dad both love illusions, right? This guy loved doing magic tricks. This Hugh Grant,
Okay. Yep. Yep.
fucking trickster. Oh, what a movie! What a movie! It
Yeah.
was fun. I had a lot of fun because it was just us in this theater in the afternoon.
We basically owned the theater. It was
Right.
so great.
So we could just flat out talk. But yes,
Yeah.
I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine if I had to be silent and watch it like it's for
Oh my
real.
God. I would hope that if it was a full packed theater, that everyone would be making fun of it like
Right.
together, like that would be my hope for a packed theater. But it was sort of fun to have the theater. Like, and like a third of the movie is just like a philosophy 101 class.
Yeah.
It's just
And
like
so simple.
a lecture. It's very weird. I'm like, wow, they just wrote this into the script. It's like pages
Right.
and pages of writing about like religion philosophy 101.
It
It's
seems like
terrible.
somebody was hurt by religion, wanted to get this point out. Oh, you know
Yeah.
what it is? Now that I think about it, it was A24, the production company, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
These fucking guys. This is my theory, Carrie.
Okay.
They Somebody makes a movie, A24 somehow finds out that they're rating a movie, and they go, "Hey, I'll buy that movie from you." And they're like, thanks, but it's not done yet." And they're like, "Yeah, I don't care. That's why we're gonna buy it real fucking cheap." And then you
Right.
just add a bunch of weird shit at the end, which is what happened.
Right. Right.
It's like, oh, it's just a nice. It's supposed to remind people that religion's bullshit. Yeah, we're gonna have the afterlife and murder. We'll give you $5,000 and we'll figure out the rest. Okay, I guess so. It's my first script.
Done. I'll take it.
Oh my, horrible. You know what I saw? Speaking of horrible, I saw recently, and maybe I'm way too old to have seen this. St. Elmo's Fire. And I said to Carrie, I go, "Have you seen this? I just saw it last night." And she goes, "No, I haven't." And I'm like, and I know I haven't met many adults who haven't seen this by now. And I said, "All right, you watch it. We're going to yap about it." You saw it for the first time just the other day, if not this morning.
This morning, Keith.
Oh my, you're a
Can I
pro.
tell can I tell you how I did this?
Please.
Keith was like, "Have you seen KO?" No, I haven't seen it. And Keith goes, "I will give you $4
If you rent it.
if you rent it right now." And I was like, "Okay." So
I can't have this alone. You know what I mean?
fired up the Apple TV app. I've never rented a movie from Apple TV. This is my first.
Oh, okay.
And
Congrats.
I get it. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have time. The only time I have is my commute, my subway time. So I watched St. Elmo's Fire on the subway.
Were
I
you
was that woman.
When you got to a certain point? I don't mind doing that, but when you get to, but I depends what I'm watching because someone's watching over my shoulder. Did it get to a certain
Yes.
point in the movie where like, oh my god, this movie is so fucking stupid and offensively dumb. I don't want people to know I'm watching it. I'd rather look
That
up
was the
porn.
whole movie. Yeah. And
Yeah.
people kept nudging me and going, "You haven't seen this yet? Aren't you aren't you Gen X? Everyone see this is Gen X. Why are you watching this?" And I kept taking out my headphones and going, "It's homework. It's
Right.
homework." I got $4. I
We
got
got paid.
reimbursed. Yeah. But yes, now I have seen it and I can discuss it. I finished it 20 minutes ago, so let's do this.
Okay, it's fresh for you.
What were your impressions? First of
Every
all,
every shithead is worse than the next in this movie. It's the Brat Pack, Demi Moore, Charlie, Emilio Estevez,
Rob
Rob
Lowe,
Lowe, oh,
Ali
Ali
Sheedy.
Sheedy,
Yeah, yeah.
the whole
So
gang.
I knew the Brat Pack as including Molly Ringwald.
Yes.
So I was surprised she was not in it because I thought this was the ultimate Rat Pack movie, and so that was shocking to me.
Yeah, it seems that most of those movies only have like two or three of those characters, but this one, except for the one woman you just mentioned, had all of them. So I'm like,
Yeah,
well, this is why I miss this one.
yeah.
Now
I
I
don't know
know.
how I missed it. Yeah,
I don't. Jesus Christ! First of
yeah.
all, it's from Joel Schumacher, the weirdo that put nipples on Batman, so he's out there. I'm sick of movies, and it reminded me of the show Friends in that you live in New York City. Fuck something else.
Yeah, I know.
You don't have to fuck each other. There's only six of you.
Right, right. But
And are we supposed to relate to one of them? I couldn't relate to any of them.
you didn't relate to Billy, the Rob Lowe character,
This the
who
sax the with the fucking half a rapist, Tim, the one that tried to date rape Demi Moore, but she kicked him out of his car. That one.
that's right. Uh,
What a bunch of rapist assholes. Emilio Estevez.
oh God, that was
He
this stalker.
they make him a
Uh,
waiter where the other people have more I don't know, with pretentious jobs, let's say. And so you're like, okay, maybe I like this guy. He's just a simple waiter. He has to go to the hospital for one of his friends, and he sees this nurse, Andy McDowell, okay, attractive, so he's immediately in love. It's an attractive nurse or doctor. And so he starts stalking her. He goes to a party he's not invited to. It was raining outside. Everybody at the party's laughing at him because he's wet. Rich people don't get wet too much. But anyway,
sure.
he goes, "Hey, I saw you and I'm really into you. What's up?" Cuts to they're in her
Yes,
bedroom.
yes,
What?
yes. That was when I chucked my phone across the subway car because I was like, she took him home. It cuts to he interrupts this party and he's like, I'm obsessed with you.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, so it cuts to him like on the street. No, she takes him home.
And then she's like, "You don't want to be
What?
with me? Look around my apartment. I'm so messy, and I have
I'm
a
a mess.
roommate." Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave the room for a minute for no reason. And so he's in her bedroom, starts smelling her pillow,
Oh my God.
and then
I
looks over into the other room, which is enclosed off, and that's the roommate saying, "Hey, this guy's a little fucking weird." That's it.
yep.
Then he says, "Hey, later, I'm gonna have a party. Do you want to come to this party?" And she goes, "Yeah, I'll see what I can do." And then he has this party. And he's like, she's not here. Calls the hospital 18 times, yells at the hospital. What's the fucking problem that she should know about this party? Goes to see that roommate from earlier and goes, "Tell me where she is." She goes, "I'm not gonna tell you anything." And he goes, "You don't want to see what's gonna fucking happen if you don't tell me." He
Yes.
tells her. He shows up at the ski lodge, knocks on the door. Another dude opens. She's obviously with another dude. Uh, Blah blah blah. He gets his car stuck because it's a ski lodge, and what are you gonna do? It's snow. So the boyfriend, goes to I don't know what, get something to help them move the car, and he goes for a kiss, grabs her. She ends up, after all, putting her arms around him like it's romantic for a second. He drives away, fist in the air. Yeah, yeah, like I got the
Yeah, all
girl after all.
smug.
And at home, we're supposed to root for him, I
Yeah.
assume.
No, no, no.
Jesus.
Problematic. No, what he says to the roommate is, I think, even worse. He goes, if you don't tell me where she is, I'm not responsible
Right.
for what I do, which I thought was just a great way to put it, that you are removing responsibility
Right.
from yourself. You have no responsibility for yourself, for your own actions, for what you do if you don't get the girl that you want.
I
That is
bel
that is some good messaging, 80s.
There were so many dumb scenes that I bet you they're that hard to work with that the director couldn't get them to do another take.
Right.
There's a
I
scene
think,
with Judd Nelson, another member of the pack, uh, and he has like a plush football, and his friends fucking his girlfriend, so he's all upset. He's kicking her out. He has a plush football. Then they cut to another part where he has a real football, throws it against the wall and breaks something. And I wonder if it's like, oh no, I just realized you have two different footballs. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. Oh, by the way, all our characters do cocaine. And the director's like, well, I don't know about that. No, we decided they all do, and we have
yep,
it.
yep, yep. Apparently that was the behind the scenes, that all of them were thoroughly coked out for the entire movie.
I believe it.
Yeah, I absolutely believe it.
They went to there's a scene in a soup kitchen. I think the Virgin, I guess, works in a soup kitchen, which by the way, I hated her too. And she's and so Billy, Rob Lowe goes, "Oh, why didn't you we're friends. Why didn't you tell me you're a virgin? I'll fuck you." And she's like, "Okay, maybe." And he just goes for the tit, squeezes it, fists her. And then she's like, "Oh, stop, forget the whole fucking thing." Okay. Then they make peace later, and it's very slow and romantic. Then he goes, "I'm gonna go to New York City." And everybody goes, "What's that have to do with any fucking thing?" And he goes, "I don't know. This movie's dumb. We're rating it as we go." So he takes his saxophone. He's the one that plays sax. And no case, by the way, but that's rock and roll. And he's going to go to New York City, I guess, to play. You know that he called that girl up later. It's supposed to be no strings attached, right? But
Right,
he's
right, right.
such a fucking misogynist asshole in this movie that he's like, "Hey, you up? Just checking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then
Yeah.
never mind, forget it, unless you're up."
Right. Just joking.
I'm going to go to New York City because you guys said I'm good at sax, playing sax wherever we're at now. This is dumber than that dude in Midnight Cowboy that went to New York City to be a gigolo.
Oh, to be a gigolo. These are well thought out ideas by men. Yeah, because one out of a million times it works. So those are the cases you see. I went to New York City with $1 and a
Right.
dream, and now look at me.
Do you
Um,
remember when they so the Virgin worked at a soup kitchen and
yep.
two of the girlfriends come over to visit her. I think it was a real soup kitchen. And I think those weren't actors in that soup kitchen looking all homeless and fucked up.
Mm,
I
yeah.
think it's a real soup kitchen, and I think the stars pissed them off wearing their fancy clothes, not eating the food they just took from the buffet. Ali
Right.
Sheedy, she was trying to act like half a human. She ate one carrot piece, I saw. But
Okay. You were watching.
I was watching. I'm like, you're
Yeah.
not eating nothing, and you're sitting next to real people that are really fucking eating, by the way.
Yeah.
And
It's
the continuity was correct because they were really eating.
right, right, right. Yeah, there were no unions in the 80s. You could just go to a
Right.
soup kitchen and film. They didn't have to ask anyone. Yeah.
Oh, I hate them all. I hate them all. And
Yeah,
again,
there
maybe I saw the Breakfast Club too late. I don't know. I related to the janitor. But I couldn't. I don't see myself in any of these assholes ever.
Yeah, they were pretty unlikable in St. Elmo's Fire. Like I wasn't rooting for any one of them to pull it together.
Right.
They're just seven, and it was seven unlikable kids.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh, and I was just distracted by how hot 80s Rob Lowe was. I'll be honest.
Sure. Sure.
He was so hot. Ah,
So he has a girlfriend in that. He's hitting on other chicks throughout the movie.
he
Then
has
the
a
woman goes,
wife.
"I know his wife." And then he goes, "Oh, he had a wife and a girlfriend." And it's like, "Hey, I know you're sleeping around and shit." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, you did an whole movie in front of everybody. What, honey? What?
Yeah.
Hey, who's that? McCartney?
Did you see the Brat Pack documentary that
No, I don't know if I
McCarthy
want
did?
to. Just to get
It,
angry. He put it
it
together. Andrew
he
McCartney, Carthy.
yes, he put it together, and he's salty. He's salty because his career kind of stagnated,
Right.
but like Rob Lowe's didn't, Demi Moore's didn't.
Right.
It's not. And
Well,
so
we
he
had
tries to,
John Cusack, so we don't need the McCarthy
yeah,
anymore.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so he goes around trying to interview people, trying to get them to be salty with him,
Okay.
and like a lot of them don't. They're like, yeah, I don't know what
Right.
you're upset about.
I was
Like,
just into substance.
it's true. Can we talk? Have you already talked about the substance on your
I
show?
loved it.
This is, oh my God, it was
Yeah.
so
That's it.
good.
And you know what? That's an A24 movie too. And I think whenever you thought like the movie was done, then it got to the part like The
Yes.
Fly. I bet A24 is like, all right, I'll buy it from you cheap. Now we
Yeah,
fuck
yeah,
it
yeah.
up.
And we have nine more endings
Right.
because it just kept going. It was so good. Oh my God.
Did you
I loved
see
it.
did you see Jay Leno's face recently that he was in an accident?
No, I read that he was in an accident, but I didn't see his face. Is it all
I'll
busted?
I'll put it at keithandthegirl.com, but you know what? Google it real quick. You'll
Okay.
find it
All
easily.
right.
It's worth looking at in color. He says he was staying at a Hampton Inn. Guy's worth $500 million. He was staying at a Hampton Inn. He was going to do a show somewhere out of the way, or he was like for whatever reason 30 minutes away from where he had to be. And so
Oh,
he asked somebody, yeah, and he asked somebody, where's a good place to eat? And they go, oh, down this way, about a mile and a half. He took a shortcut down some cliff, he says, and he fell 60 feet. His side of it, he looks like Two-Face. His face is all black and blue. His eye is all swollen and shit. His fingers busted. A whole bunch of. I don't know if this story's true and it's weird. Everybody's guessing it's gambling debts. I wonder. I wonder. First of all, my house when I was born, our house is 50 feet long. So I happen to know how long 50 feet is. That's a long way to keep falling
down. I mean,
down. And
that's
he goes, and they go, what happened to your face though? And he's like, oh, I hit a rock. I'm like, this is the Rock of
he had
Gibraltar.
no,
This is
did he have
a
any witnesses? Nobody was with him
no
when this
witnesses.
happened?
He was just
No
going
witness.
alone to
This
get
was
some chicken wings.
by himself
Yeah.
going through the woods. I
The
don't
guy with 80
understand.
fucking cars just going through the woods to get
Wow.
some food.
But like, it's a very specific number. It's not that he just fell down. He fell down a 60-foot hill.
Right.
Like, how would you know that? I don't know. That's
I can
weird.
feel it as I'm falling down. I can
Yeah,
feel it.
well,
I'm
because he
like
had a
10,
60-foot,
20.
he grew up in a 60-foot house, so he knows
Right.
how many 60 feet
That
is.
makes sense, right?
That's crazy. Look at his busted face. But also, he could hide until it heals a little. I don't know. I mean, if you didn't want the press, look.
Supposedly he did stand up that night.
Oh, okay, because he's got to make rent.
Well,
You got to
what the
do rent.
fuck? So it sounds like a gambling debt. They're like, and you better make money tonight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you better be funny.
Right. Like,
You
no,
better
go
be
to a hospital.
on.
Ice that shit now. Go to the hospital.
Wow, that's bad. And he looks really old.
I feel like something's up. He's been getting
Mm-hmm.
a lot of accidents lately.
Yeah, maybe he's super clumsy.
Okay, but jeez.
I don't know.
But
Have you ever had
he was in an incubator like 2 months ago. He some kind of motorcycle fire supposedly.
in an incubator?
He was over some kind of they did some kind of shit to him where they have him in a case, closed up like a baby, all bandaged up with special oxygen. Something's going on.
I didn't
Right.
hear about that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Why is this stuff being made public?
Because he's got to keep going out doing shows
He's
and
got to
he
keep doing
looks like,
show. And he's like, oh, I'm glad I made it. I got out of my incubation tube. I got out of my diaper oxygen incubation tube to be here for you guys.
that'd be a fun surprise.
Mm.
You go to see stand up and he comes out looking like, oh my God, you're going to do 45 minutes? And I'm just staring at you?
I'm distracted by your diaper.
What's the
What,
deal with
wait,
politics?
what's the
Like,
right, right.
holy shit. Have you heard this thing? Like,
aren't
your
aren't
face?
gay people are funny, am I right?
Right.
They're like, I like men.
I'm reading this story. Transplant experts are seeing a spike in people revoking organ donor registrations because apparently people keep being declared dead when they're not. And this is a real fucking, I don't know, phobia is a big word, but I say when I die, leave me in a room for like a week, give me a bell. Do that. A hospital should have a room where they throw the dead bodies in there with a bell on the inside and they swap out the people like every other day or something.
I
It's
I
too many people are being declared dead in this country, in this world, but also in the great country of America.
but in that week before they make sure you're dead, your organs are rotting away inside your body when they could go
Okay.
be put. I say take them out before I'm declared dead. If I'm in an accident, you're like, is she dead? Is she not dead? Be like, I don't know. Take out her kidney. See.
But this is what happened. So,
Yeah,
by the
do
way,
it.
it was George Carlin that said about he's not donating organ. He's like, fuck that. These guys are looking for parts. So this guy in Kentucky. And by the way, did you sign for
Oh, take them out. Use them. I ain't got no use for my organs.
I don't like that because I do think they do kind of rush to it. I have to imagine they're horny. Well, I'll read you this story. You'll see.
All
But
right, tell me.
but I did pick. So I let my license lapse. I didn't have other ID over COVID, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, does this document count? Does this document count? My birth certificate didn't count. My marriage certificate didn't count. My divorce certificate did count. I guess it had a certain kind of signature from a judge. I don't know. But anyway, I put yes, I'll donate my organs so that I look like a good guy so they feel bad for me. But it's some scary shit nonetheless. So a man who had gone into cardiac arrest was declared brain dead, woke up as surgeons in his home state of Kentucky were in the middle of harvesting his organs for donation.
Okay. So
Anthony Anthony Thomas, TJ, he goes by Hoover. Anthony Thomas is TJ, and that's Kentucky for you. Officials within the U.S.'s blah 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 insist there are safeguards to prevent such a thing happening. Yeah, check their pulse, check their breath. He was in there for a drug overdose. They said he was dead. They uh, they said he lacked any reflexes or brain activity.
hmm
The doctor said to the family, "Hey, it turns out he was donating his organs, so we're going to take those." It's like, yeah, okay. And then as they're doing the process, whatever that means, his eyes started moving.
So he
And
was
then
fine.
his eyes started moving. Then they
So
go,
what's the problem?
and the family saw that.
Yeah.
And the doctor said that's normal. That's just reflexes. Give it an hour.
Then the organs die. You know how much your kidney sucks after an hour?
After about an hour, actually, after Hoover was brought into surgery for his organs to be retrieved, a doctor came out and explained that Hoover, quote, wasn't ready. Oh, it's his fault.
He didn't read the.
I'm sorry. He doesn't seem ready yet.
I'm
He
not
said take him,
ready.
but
It's like getting married. You have to be ready. You're not ready.
a former
Wait, so
employee. God,
I'm skipping to the end. Did he
sure.
live?
He's alive now. Yeah.
So then fine.
They got him
What's
out in time. He just looks like Frankenstein. A former employee that was there said Hoover began thrashing about. He was visibly crying, I'd say. The hospital says we work closely with our patients and their families to ensure our patients' wishes for organ donation are followed. Relax. My bigger wish is to keep them if I use them.
right, right.
A professor in medical ethics said all indications are that cases like Hoover's are generally, quote, one offs that hopefully we'll be able to get to the bottom of and prevent from ever happening again. One offs shouldn't have an S.
Right.
These
Okay.
are one offs.
So how about this? Like if you're dead and you have like no vital signs like for 2 minutes, right? No breath, no brain waves, no
Not long
nothing.
enough.
And then someone has to stand over you and say really loudly, I guess we better harvest his
Yeah.
organs. And
Yes.
then you wake up.
Yeah.
Like they have to do that test.
Like a dream. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
I
So
can't. I,
we just do that for everybody.
I can't wait to chop off his penis. I'm like,
No, no, I'm getting
yeah.
up. Yeah.
He
Coffee.
made attempts to say, quote, hey, I'm here, but it was kind of ignored, said the sister. They finally stopped the procedure because he was showing too many signs of life. No, you fart. If I fart, you wait an hour. No, that's just gas. Really? It's just gas. Hadn't
Just
had a
gas
tumor, they
escaping.
sent her home saying it was gas. Just wait and see.
Yeah. All right. No, I mean, I agree with you, but I feel like certain doctors just are really bad at death.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay.
So you just have to, I think just someone needs to stand over you and say, time to harvest his penis really
Yeah.
loudly.
Yeah.
And then that'll get women up too. Because
Right.
they'll be like, wait, I don't have a penis.
Sure, we sure do love taking people's penises. Doctor, I hate this part of it. It's part of
Right,
the
right.
procedure.
It's part of the procedure. We have to say it out loud because hearing is the last to go.
Oh, this red tape. Dr. Oz, tell us what to do.
Right, right. The new Medicaid says we have to take everyone's penis, unless you have a job.
Carrie Gravenson, do me a favor, please. Tell people what's doing. I'll tell them what's doing about in regards to your stand-up. It's great. If you could see Carrie, you do it. Download her album, Cry Through It. It's fan-fucking-tastic. I mean it. Yeah, I will not be embarrassed by saying that. You'll see. What am I, just lying to you? That's something I
Oh,
do. You're gonna hear it, and you're gonna know if I'm telling the fucking truth or not.
That's right. That's right. And
It's
before
the
that album
shit
is
I
dead,
need.
we're going to cut off its penis. It's going to be
Oh
great.
my goodness.
I
Well,
also run a monthly show at the Ripped Bodice
ooh,
bookstore in Park Slope. It is a romantic bookstore, and once a month, we have an awesome comedy show there at 7 o'clock every second Monday. The next one's on December 9th is the next one.
has a
And
comic ever been a little less than, and somebody just reaches over and grabs a book to read?
yes, all the time.
Oh my goodness, a lot of
No.
pressure. You really give it all
Yeah,
you
but
got.
no, focus on the
All
comic.
right.
No, the best part of that show for me personally is that the area that we because it's a bookstore, we kind of make a makeshift green room, and the
Okay.
makeshift green room is next to the scented candles.
Mm,
So I'm a producer of the show, and I got to stand around and watch the comics and light them and do all that. But it's very important that I smell all the candles. This is part of my job to
okay.
smell all the scented candles.
I don't know how that helps me in the audience, but I'm happy for
It
your job.
doesn't. It doesn't. I'm just saying. This is why I love that gig. It's
Speaking
great.
of candles, by the way, in that
Hmm.
movie Heretic, we knew it
Hmm.
was a blueberry fucking candle. They
Yeah.
sure do take fucking forever showing that it's dramatic and that he
Ah,
doesn't really have a wife in the house that making blueberry pie. A surprise, surprise, later there is blueberry pie. So was there blueberry pie or not blueberry?
they never explain it. Who made the actual pie?
Oh, God.
Infuriating. Infuriating. Plot hole.
Too
Plot
much.
hole.
Too
Sending it to
much.
IMDb.
There
Plot
is no
hole.
God. There is no God.
That's what I got from the movie.
That's everything. KeithandTheGirl.com/VIP and KeithandTheGirl.com/dad. Two links you want to check out. And we will talk to you soon.